So, Ike, you are near that building, Hamilton Hall, where students are still barricaded inside this hour. What's the latest?
Well, essentially what we're learning right now is Columbia University has limited access to the Morningside campus, which is exactly where we are. The people who are allowed inside are only students who live in the residential dorms here and faculty that's considered essential faculty. They're the only people who are allowed here. And the way they get in is from showing their ID, their student ID, or their faculty ID, right here behind me in this blue tent. You can see university security. They've essentially set up this point right here. This is the only way into the campus and the only way out of the campus. And as you can see right now, everybody's presenting their Columbia ID. They're actually scanning it at a machine that they have right here, and they're being checked before they can be allowed on campus. Now, again, this is all happening following what happened earlier this morning on Hamilton Hall when you said those protesters were essentially breaking into Hamilton Hall with those metal barricades. They were using those wooden tables, those wooden chairs, even zip ties to tie those door handles on so no one can get in or get out. At that time, we were also being told that there were counter protesters who were somewhat clashing with them all last night. They were eventually pushed out of that area, and ever since then, they've been held up right here inside Hamilton Hall. And if you could take a look right now, they've already erupted two banners from that building. One of them saying Free Palestine, and the other one to the right that says Glory. That was essentially put up within the past hour right now. So what we're seeing right now is those protesters still held up here in Hamilton Hall. And they're saying they're not going to come out. They're refusing to come out until Columbia University acquiesces to their demands. One of the main ones being the university divesting from Israel, something Columbia said that they will never do. So right now we're seeing these talks between the two sides essentially stalled at the moment, Kira.
Well, it looks like we got a little action within those talks, or maybe lack of talks, Ike. I just was handed an email. This is from the university spokesperson there at Columbia, Ben Chang. It's probably in your email as well. It just started circulating. We regret that protesters have chosen to escalate the situation through their actions. Our top priority is restoring safety and order on our campus. We made it very clear yesterday that the work of the university cannot be endlessly interrupted by protesters who violate the rules. Continuing to do so will be met with clear consequences. Protesters have chosen to escalate to an untenable situation, vandalizing property, breaking doors and windows, and blockading entrances. And we are following through with the consequences we outlined yesterday. And now the statement goes on, but here's one last line I want to read, Ike. It says, students occupying the building face expulsion. So, Ike, there was a lot of criticism, by the way, are these live pictures or is this tape of Hamilton Hall? All right, we have live pictures actually of Hamilton Hall, Ike. I don't know, we could keep those up if we want, if we see any action there. I mean, you can't see much from the outside of the building. It was a totally different story, clearly, when they occupied Hamilton Hall. But, Ike, there was a lot of talk about why isn't the university doing more, that this has gotten out of control. They're now occupying buildings. It's gotten violent. There were janitors that felt like they were being held hostage when this all went down. So it looks like this statement from the university is making it pretty clear that if things don't change, the students inside that building face expulsion now.
That's right, Kira. And that note that we just got, it says that essentially the university offered those people in the encampment many opportunities to voluntarily leave and abide by the rules that they set out. But of course, this new message that we're getting just now just shows just at length where the university is standing after these negotiations that have been stalled. And now they're resulting to expulsion. If you remember yesterday, they were suspending students who decided not to leave that encampment. Now that has been elevated to expulsion, and it's here in writing. They are ready to essentially start to remove these protesters from the encampment. Now, the question remains is how that will happen. We do know that there is university security here, but there's also NYPD. Now, we're being told the NYPD, they are here on the outside. They have not entered the campus. We're being told that they will only enter the campus if Columbia University tells them to. Obviously, this letter could essentially be the groundwork for what could be an inevitability for the NYPD to step on campus. If we look at the University of Utah, a similar step happened there. We saw that university essentially tell that encampment that, listen, this is not right, this is illegal, and we are going to use whatever means possible to get you out of here. And shortly after that was delivered to that encampment, then we saw the authorities step in and start to remove that. We're seeing a parallel image here right now where the Columbia University have met that point where the negotiations have broken down, and now they're ready to essentially step in and finish this protest in terms of removing everybody and even expulsion. And again, we spoke to somebody who said last night they were even fearful from those protests. So again, this is causing a lot of turmoil, not only here for the faculty, but a lot of the students too who are being affected by this, Kira.
All right, keep us updated there from Columbia University. Ike, thank you so much.